Hello there, my name is Anna Maliszewski from the blog Knitting Up a Storm. I'd like to share with you a quick little trick on how to cable without the use of an actual cable needle. Now these are cable needles. They usually have a bend or a divot to them, or they're in the shape of a U. Some people use double pointed needles. And I find that when you use needles like this or the other one, for only one stitch being held forward or backwards, it gets a little awkward and likes to slip off. So that annoys me and it slows me down. So I found a neat little trick that speeds up the process and doesn't make me want to slam my project onto the table in frustration. And that is employing the use of a stitch marker that has a slit in it. So this is kind of acting like a safety pin, but it's safer than a safety pin, and you can slide it on and off real fast. So I'm in the middle of a pattern right now for my hat, my frozen slouch hat, frozen river slouch, I believe, and I'm on row 7, and the main part of the cable says this: to purl 1, to do a 2-stitch RPC, which is a right-leaning cable of 2 stitches, and the knit stitch is knit through the back of the loop, and then to do that twice, and then to do a 2-stitch LPC, which is a left-leaning cable of 2 stitches, and let's see, through the back of the loop, just like the other one when you do the knit stitch, and then to purl the last stitch. Alright, so let's take care of the purled stitch, which I believe I've already done, so let me undo that for you. Okay, so I purl this stitch. Then I need to do a 2-stitch RPC through the back of the loop. So what I'm going to do is take this and slide this in just like a tip of a cable needle. So pretend it's a long cable needle, it's the same thing. So I slide that into the stitch, and then I'm going to hold this in the back. So I'm going to use my finger to kind of just hold it there, because if I don't, it might twist, and then you don't want the stitch to twist the wrong way, especially in a pattern that wants you to do things a certain way, like through the back of the loop. Okay, so I'm going to knit through the back of the loop of the stitch on the left-hand needle, bring that saved stitch back onto the left-hand needle, slide it off of this, and then I need to purl that stitch. So that was a 2-stitch RPC. So let me show that to you again for the second one. Slide this through, hold it in the back, then I need to knit into the back of the stitch, and then I transfer this back, put the tip of the left-hand needle through the middle of this stitch, and then just slide this off. And then I need to purl into the stitch. Okay, so we did 2 of those RPC through the back of the loop stitches. And now, for the rest of this part, I need to do 2 of the LPCs through the back loop. So I slide the stitch, the first stitch, onto the stitch marker, and then I hold it in the front. This one's a little easier to see. Then I need to purl the purled stitch. Okay, and then I transfer the stitch back onto the left-hand needle, and then I need to knit through the back of that stitch. That's one of them. One more of that 2-stitch LPCs. There it is. Okay, so I take that first stitch, hold it to the front, purl, transfer it back. Hopefully you can see this because I'm looking down. And then I need to knit through the back of that stitch. And then in my pattern, if you can see, it said I need to purl 1. That's the last thing I need to do. Alright, And so you could see, hopefully, since I have a white background, that's a little better, that this is leaning to the right with a knit stitch, knit in the back of the loop. And then there's a purled stitch between it that we twisted with a cable, so it leans right with a knit stitch. And then I have another one of those right here. This is knit leaning right, purl. And then I have another purled stitch here, so there's 2 purled stitches between. And then a left leaning cable here that's knit through the back of the loop. And then this one's purled, even though it's really hard to see. I could barely see this right now because I need to do the next row to kind of straighten these out. The left stitch that's crossed, that's knit, and then that, oops, this loop, the working yarn loop, and then here's the purled stitch. Alright, so I hope this helps. This works for any kind of cabling with between 2 stitches and 4 stitches, so it's just as easy to slide 2 of these onto my stitch marker than just one. Hold it to the front or the back and do what you need to do for your cable pattern. And it's just really easy, slide on and off and not have to worry about this bulky thing just sitting in the front of your work or behind your work and just slipping right off. So that is that. I hope that helps. Give me a shout out if you have employed this technique and it has saved your life. Well, not really saved your life, but made you a lot happier. Okay, thank you. Bye.